Krisis iklim sudah di depan mata, mengancam kehidupan, lingkungan, dan perekonomian kita semua. Indonesia menunjukkan komitmennya terhadap penanggulangan iklim melalui ratifikasi Paris Agreement dalam Undang-Undang Nomor 16 Tahun 2016 dan upaya aktif menurunkan emisi karbon sebagai bagian dari agenda keberlanjutan nasional dan global. Sebagai presidensi G20 pada tahun 2022, Indonesia juga mendorong G20 Bali Declaration yang mendukung finalisasi ISSB Standards untuk pelaporan keberlanjutan global. Standar ini telah didukung oleh IOSCO, G20, ACMF, dan organisasi internasional lainnya, serta 26 negara telah berkomitmen untuk menerapkannya. Komitmen terhadap isu keberlanjutan ini membutuhkan pendanaan besar dari investor yang semakin menuntut transparansi. Mengintegrasikan informasi keberlanjutan dan laporan keuangan kini menjadi kebutuhan utama bagi pasar modal, pendanaan internasional, dan perdagangan global. Selama lebih dari 50 tahun, IAI telah menjadi pemimpin dalam penyusunan standar akuntansi di Indonesia. Sejak 2020, IAI mengambil langkah proaktif dalam membangun infrastruktur pelaporan keberlanjutan melalui pembentukan Task Force Comprehensive Corporate Reporting yang diikuti dengan pembentukan Dewan Pemantau Standar Keberlanjutan dan Dewan Standar Keberlanjutan untuk memastikan tata kelola yang kuat. Saat ini, IAI sedang menyiapkan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang merujuk pada ISSB Standards, melengkapi laporan keuangan dan menjawab kebutuhan pengungkapan keberlanjutan yang semakin mendesak. Penerapan standar pengungkapan keberlanjutan tidak dapat hanya sebatas penyusunan standar.
Cek 1, 2, 3.
Cek monitor. Dah.
IAI berkembang menjadi organisasi profesi akuntan yang turut mewarnai sejarah perekonomian Indonesia. Inisiasi penting selanjutnya adalah ketika IAI mengambil tanggung jawab menjadi standar setter untuk mendukung pasar modal dan dunia investasi Indonesia. IAI menerbitkan prinsip akuntansi Indonesia (PAI) dan norma pemeriksaan akuntan NPA. PAI nantinya berkembang menjadi standar akuntansi keuangan (SAK). IAI terus tumbuh menjadi pengawal transparansi dan akuntabilitas perekonomian Indonesia. Dalam dinamika global, IAI menjadi pendiri dan anggota IFAC, pendiri dan anggota ASEAN Federation of Accountants (AFA), serta Associate Member Chartered Accountant Worldwide (CAW). Di masa kini, tidak bisa dibantahkan, IAI berperan di hampir semua sektor perekonomian. DPN periode 2022-2026 akan meneruskan estafet kepemimpinan profesi menuju IAI bersatu bersama menciptakan peluang meraih kesuksesan. Melalui rencana strategis IAI periode 2022-2026, IAI tumbuh, kuat, dan berkelanjutan. Rencana strategi IAI terdiri dari 4 pilar. Pilar 1, memperkuat transformasi profesi akuntansi melalui peningkatan kuantitas dan kualitas akuntan Indonesia yang memiliki kompetensi, kredibilitas, serta mematuhi regulasi, kode etik, dan standar profesi. Pilar 2, meningkatkan kepercayaan publik kepada profesi akuntansi sebagai pemimpin dalam pengembangan ekosistem keuangan dan keberlanjutan. Pilar 3. Memperkuat perlindungan hukum dan praktik keprofesian akuntan di berbagai sektor di era keberlanjutan. Pilar 4. Meningkatkan tata kelola organisasi IAI dan memperluas kerjasama dengan pemangku kepentingan profesi akuntansi. IAI siap mengawal perekonomian Indonesia menuju Sustainable Development Goals. IAI tumbuh, kuat, dan berkelanjutan.
Join Basic Financial Accounting Course IAI yuk. Smart in Accounting, only IAI. Penyusunan laporan keuangan harus mengacu pada standar akuntansi keuangan yang berlaku. Melalui pelatihan ini, peserta akan mendapatkan modul dan materi akuntansi keuangan komprehensif sesuai dengan standar akuntansi keuangan yang berlaku. Materi juga dilengkapi dengan soal latihan dan contoh kasus pada setiap topik pembahasan. Narasumber BFA Course IAI tentu saja merupakan akuntan profesional yang selalu terjaga kompetensinya. Pastinya dengan segala professional experience yang tidak diragukan lagi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Indonesia Stock Exchange. Your safety is our priority. We would like to show you our procedure in case of emergency or disaster. We are now in the main hall of Indonesia Stock Exchange. This hall has 3 exit doors toward the assembly point. The first exit is on your left side, which is located just after the foyer area. The second exit is on your right side, which is located towards the main entrance of the building. The third exit is on the back side and can be accessed by going through the exit to the GFA meeting room area. In the event of emergency alarm, please do not panic. And if you hear through the speaker, wait for our expert associate to guide you. If there is an instruction for evacuation, our expert associate will guide you to walk to the nearest exit door and find the assembly point. Remove your high heels during evacuation immediately. In case of fire and you are stuck in a cloud of smoke, please crawl while following the instruction from the expert associate, because this position will allow you to breathe. In case of an earthquake, try to hide under the table or be close to a strong wall, and do not use elevator. Prioritize elderly, disabled people, people with chronic illness, and pregnant women. There is a small fire extinguisher in, which can be used in case of emergency. Thank you for your attention and have a great time in Indonesia Stock Exchange.
March of IAI. Please rise. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Indonesia Stock Exchange for IDX market opening ceremony in collaboration with the International Federation of Accountants and Institute of Indonesia Chartered Accountant. Before we begin this event, I would like to greet all the VIPs present today. Distinguished President of the International Federation of Accountants, Mr. Jean Bouquot. Chair Audit Board, Member Commissioner Board, Financial Services Authority, Member Supervisory Board IAI, Ms. Sofia Watimena. Head of the Capital Markets Supervision Department, Indonesia Financial Services Authority, Ms. Novira Indrianingrum. President of IAI, Mr. Ardan Adi Perdana. President Director of Indonesia Stock Exchange, Mr. Iman Rahman. IFAC Board Member, IAI Council Member, Prof. Siddhartha Utama. Consultative Board of Business Sector Accountant Compartment IAI, Partner of PwC Indonesia, Mr. Buntoro Rianto. National Council, Advisory Council, and Supervisory Council of IAI. Board of Directors of Self-Regulatory Organization, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. To begin today's event, would like to hear an opening remarks from the President Director of Indonesia Stock Exchange, Mr. Iman Rahman. The time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan. Distinguished guests, Chairwoman of the Audit Board of OJK and IAI Supervisory Council, Ibu Sofia Watimena, President of International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, Mr. Jean Bouquot, President of Institute of Indonesia Chartered Accountant, Bapak Ardan Adi Perdana, and National Council members, Chairman of IAI National Council, Prof. Mardiasmo, along with members of IAI Supervisory Council and IAI National Council, Consultative Board of KSB IAI, Bapak John A. Prastyo. Today's panelists, Chairman of Indonesia Public Listed Companies Association, or IAI, and Deputy President Director of BCA, Bapak Arman W. Hartono. IFAC Board Member and Member of IAI National Council, Profesor Siddhartha Utama. Head of Capital Market Supervision Department, Indonesia Financial Services Authority, Ibu Novira Indrianingrum. Consultative Board of KSB IAI, Partners of PwC Indonesia, and our moderator, Bapak Buntoro Rianto. President Director of KSEI, Bapak Samsul Hidayat, Director of KPI, Pak Antonius Herman Azwar, and also my colleague, Pak Nyoman, and also Prof. Lindawati, representative of listed company, IAI members, and Indonesian accounting students. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and warm greeting of all of you. Welcome to Indonesia, the House of Growth. It's a both honor and also great pleasure to co-host today's seminar organized in collaboration with the Institute of Indonesia Chartered Accountants, or IAI, and the International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, to discuss the theme of deeply relevant to the challenges of our time, future-proofing economies, the strategic role of accountants in turbulent time. We navigate an era marked by geopolitical tension, rapid technological change, climate concern, and regulatory transformations. As we face these conditions, the role of accountant is expanding beyond compliance and reporting. Accountants are now expected to serve as strategic partners, helping organizations manage risk, drive innovation, also respond to investor and stakeholders' demand. This seminar provides a timely platform for dialogue, knowledge sharing, and collaboration in effort to address these issues. It is through forums like this that we can better understand the evolving role of the profession and equip ourselves to help organizations and economies navigate volatility and resilience and also foresight. In today's discussion, we have to identify key challenges currently faced by government, capital markets, and economies as a result of a global geopolitical tension and economic volatility. Advanced corporate and sustainability disclosures to better align with the expectation of modern investors. Ladies and gentlemen, all at the Indonesia Stock Exchange, we believe that a transparent and well-regulated capital markets depend on the strength of its accounting profession. The accuracy and reliability they bring to financial reporting are critical to investor confidence and market integrity. Our capital markets benefit from their diligence and commitment to high standards which underpin trust and long sustainability. We are committed to creating a capital market environment that value innovation, foster good governance, and embraces international alignment so that accountant can thrive not only as compliance, but as leaders in sustainability business transformations. I have to see the timing that for opening bell. So I think let me close by thanks all partners, IFAC and IAI, as well as all participants for making today's event possible. May the seminar spark new ideas, deepen collaboration, and equip us all face the challenges ahead with accountants enabling transformation across sectors. Thank you, and I wish all of you a productive and insightful discussion. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Iman, and you may return to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, next we'd like to hear the speech from the President of Institute of Indonesia Chartered Accountant, Mr. Ardan Adi Perdana. The time is yours.
Honorable Mr. Jean Bouquot, IFAC President, Ms. Sofia Watimena, Commissioner OJK, Mr. Iman Rahman, President Director of IDX, and also Mr. Gede Nyoman Yatna, Chairman of Business Sector Accountant Compartment IAI, and all the IAI national member, speaker and moderators, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning and welcome. On behalf of Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia, IAI, it is my privilege to welcome you all to this important seminar jointly organized by IAI, Indonesia Stock Exchange, IDX, and International Federation of Accountants. I would like to extend our warmest gratitude and heartfelt welcome to the President of IFAC. Your presence here today is a profound honor for the Indonesian accounting profession. IAI is especially proud of its history as one of the founding members of IFAC, a legacy that began at the World Congress of Accountants in Berlin in 1977. In this spirit, IAI has developed its strategic plan called Renstra IAI, Next for Success, which is aligned with IFAC strategic priorities and toolkits. I would also like to express our sincere appreciation to the Indonesia Stock Exchange for its support of this event and for the special opportunity to mark this moment through the IDX ceremonial opening of the trading session. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful to IFAC for its continued endorsement and promotion of globally recognized competitive standard for professional accountants. As you know, Indonesia is G20 country and the largest economy in Southeast Asia, with one of the most developed capital market in the region. The majority of attendees at this event are representative of publicly listed companies on the Indonesian Stock Exchange. Relevant to this aspect, IAI has established a special compartment which is chaired by Dr. Nyoman Yetna. One of compartment's key program is one entity, minimum one chartered accountant, which aim to strengthen the quality of financial reporting among listed companies through the presence of chartered accountant in every entity. Looking ahead, IAI is fully committed to the success of the upcoming IFAC Connect event scheduled for this December, which will coincide with the celebration of IAI 68th anniversary. This event will be a significant milestone, and we look forward to welcoming our global colleagues to Indonesia once again. In closing, I thank you all for your presence and your continued support of the accounting profession. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, and please remain on stage. Pardon, please remain on stage for market opening session. And we'd like to invite on stage Mr. Jean Bouquot, Ms. Sofia Watimena, Mr. Iman Rahman, and Prof. Mardiasmo. Ladies and gentlemen, the IDX opening market will be marked with the hand screen press by the representative from IFAC and IAI. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to invite you all to do the countdown together from the count of 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this mark, the IDX market has been officially opened by IFAC and IAI. Once again, please give a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is the token given session. For the first token will be given by IAI to IDX. The next token will be given by IAI to IFAC. Please remain on stage for another group photo session. We'd like to invite all the VIPs seated in the front row to also join the photo session on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, after this, we would like to invite all the participants to join the photo session. And for all the VIPs on stage, you may return to your seat first. The photo will be taken from the stage side. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. You may raise your hands up. Thank you. And you may return to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, keynote speech by the President of the International Federation of Accountants, Mr. Jean Bouquot. The time is yours.
Mr. President of IDX, honorable guests, friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I am Jean Bouquot, President of IFAC, the International Federation of Accountants. Thank you very much for welcoming me to the Indonesian Stock Exchange in the heart of the bustling Jakarta. It is my first time in your country, and I have been so grateful for the warm welcome I have received from everyone I have met, especially my hosts at IAI, the Institute of Indonesian Chartered Accountants. Thank you so much. Let me tell you briefly about IFAC for those who are not familiar. The essence of the value we bring to our members has three parts: connection and unity, integrity and global recognition, a collective voice and commitments to the public interest. Everything we do at IFAC is possible only with the collective efforts of our member organizations. IAI, a founding member of IFAC in 1977, and we have been very proud to work with them ever since. I thank the Institute and all its members, including my IFAC board colleague, Professor Siddhartha Uttama, for the essential work you do on behalf of our profession and the public interest. We are standing at the heart of one of the most consistently successful economies in the world. But even here, the global instability of political and economic affairs can be felt, and it needs to be carefully considered. At difficult and uncertain moments, the accountancy profession should stay a safe harbor. The entire profession is united around everlasting principles of integrity, professionalism, and independence. We have a public interest mandate and corresponding oversight from public authorities. we have earned a trusted reputation over many generations that we apply in many settings. We leverage this trust to build confidence in the financial information on which investors depend, and increasingly in the sustainability information that all stakeholders are demanding. We also have built trusted relationships with the small and medium-sized enterprises who are the foundation of every economy. And we help businesses and public sector organizations achieve sustainable long-term success through our leading role in the finance function and in public financial management. With the rest of my time, I will say a few words on three aspects of our profession's value in times of turbulence, in terms of sustainability disclosure, supporting small and medium-sized enterprises, and public financial management. So, starting with sustainability. In recent years, we at IFAC have been talking to our colleagues around the global accountancy profession and to regulators and other stakeholders outside of the profession about the opportunity and the public interest responsibility that professional accountants have for enabling the sustainability transformation that is happening in companies, in our economies, and in society. Financial markets need high-quality sustainability information so that investors and lenders can make efficient decisions that align with sustainability targets. A wider range of stakeholders in society also need this information so that they can fully understand the sustainability impacts on business. We are the profession in best position to lead on sustainability reporting and assurance. We have the technical skills to integrate financial and non-financial information. Also, wherever we are in the value chain, we have the skills to transform high-quality standards into high-quality information. And our reputation will bring trust to this information in the same way that will bring confidence to traditional financial statements. At the profession, we are challenging those of us who work inside of companies or who provide advisory services to companies to view new sustainability disclosures not as a compliance exercise, but instead as empowering change in the way that companies are governed and the way they make decisions. We are challenging ourselves to do everything we can do, help build a harmonized global system for reporting sustainability-related information. It's important to note that for these disclosures to be useful to everyone, no actor can be outside the reporting system. At IFAC, we believe the IFRS standards, starting with S1 and S2, are the right foundation for this system. And I'm glad to see Indonesia continuing its journey forward adoption and implementation of standards based on S1 and S2. Regulatory fragmentation or sustainability disclosure is a real possibility, and it could lead to greater costs and difficulties conducting business across borders. Another risk is that weak or poorly designed regulations could allow for greenwashing. This would undermine an already difficult international environment. I want to stress the need for convergence on a global baseline. IFAC will continue leading the charge for alignment, and we will continue to advocate strongly on behalf of the ISSB as the best home for that reporting baseline. We also believe widespread adoption and implementation of the ISA 5000 standard of the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board, the IAASB, will be crucial for ensuring that sustainability assurance truly builds and trust and confidence in sustainability information. ISA 5000 is a profession-agnostic standard that allows for a broad range of assurance providers while maintaining a high level of quality. But I want to emphasize that we should not allow a too tight system to emerge, one where regulated professional accountants are held to higher standards, while others operate without consistent oversight. It's all about investor and consumer protection. If the market for sustainability assurance doesn't earn trust, then it doesn't serve its intended purpose. Now, I'd like to talk about small and medium-sized entities, or we call them SMEs, and make a connection back to sustainability. Professional accountants, and especially small and medium-sized practitioners, or SMPs, continue to be the preferred advisors to SMEs. SMEs are the backbone of national, regional, and global economy. Worldwide, SMEs account for roughly 50% of GDP and 60% of formal employment. In Indonesia, those figures are even higher. 61% of GDP, 97% of total employment. Indonesia alone is home to 60 million SMEs. I want to clarify the connection to the companies listed on the Indonesian Stock Exchange. Even the largest public companies depend on SMEs as suppliers, as customers throughout their supply chains. Large companies will struggle to embrace sustainability unless SMEs with them are on the journey. We can broadly say the overall economic outlook is very closely tied to the economic outlook of SMEs. The professional support for these businesses, in turn, is exceptionally important. Sustainability is going to be challenged for SMEs. They look to SMPs to provide a range of sustainability-related services. This role for SMPs will also broaden and become even more important as the focus on sustainability shifts from just an environmental and greenhouse gas perspective to include a wider range of sustainability factors. Sustainability is about future-proofing businesses. It's about building resilience within them by helping them to adapt to rapidly changing market conditions. It's about helping them make decisions that are good for shareholders, for the environment, for employees, and for the community. Having high-quality sustainability information available is central to their ability to do any of this, but to get it, SMEs will need to introduce or improve their processes, systems, and controls for identifying, measuring, and analyzing sustainability information. SMPs have the skills to help design strong systems and advise on process improvements. There is also a connection here to sustainability disclosure. There has been a rise in sustainability information requests to SMEs, which I can only see growing in the future. There are multiple reasons, such as supply chain pressures from larger businesses, new regulatory requirements or policies at banks who are considering lending to SMEs. It's also likely that larger entities preparing sustainability disclosures will more frequently call on the SMEs in their value chain to provide sustainability information. SMEs will need advice and support to meet those diverse requests for information, and by providing it, our profession supports the entire value chain up to the largest corporations. To ensure our services stay valued, professional accountants have to understand what the new areas of concern will be. We also have to develop our own understanding and experience before we can effectively help others. We need to identify the right skills and competencies and move quickly to acquire them. The third and financial theme I will turn to is public financial management, or PFM. Public officials around the world are reckoning with an uncertain environment. They have very difficult decisions to make about how to use their limited resources to preserve the welfare of their citizens. There is little margin for error. They need robust plans that account for the full scope of public interest and respond to them effectively, comprehensively, and sustainably. And all this leads to PFM. The issue of cash versus accrual-based accounting is an exceptionally important issue within PFM. It has a great effect on the public sector's ability to plan, to develop, to deliver services, and to manage its balance sheets. It is also a top priority for IFAC and for the IPSASB, the International Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. This is a journey Indonesia is already on, but I want to revisit why it's crucial that you keep going. Because accrual accounting is known to increase transparency, accountability, and credibility in public finances. This means better information reaches decision makers in the public sector. Better decisions lead to better outcomes in the management of public resources and the delivery of public services. With greater transparency and better outcomes of these decisions, public trust in government will always rise. IFAC offers a free-to-use tool on our website, which is called Pathways to Accrual. It features resources to help governments and other public sector entities forge their own path towards adopting and implementing accrual-based reporting frameworks. On PFM, I want to add that the most important variable in the public sector is people. So I encourage our profession to convey key points to their stakeholders in government. Public sector finance positions should be professionalized. They should have robust qualification requirements, and they should be attractive and competitive for professionals who also have private sector opportunities. I come to my conclusion. Within each of these three themes I have discussed today, sustainability, supporting SMEs, and public financial management, our profession has an important strategic role that becomes even more important in unstable times. I want to mention one more very important thing. The quality that sets us apart as a profession above all is ethics. Our independence, skepticism, professional integrity are what define us. They are what earned us our trusted reputation and the central position we occupy in economies, financial markets, and organizations. And it's an essential element of our mission to serve the public interest. At all times, we need to keep earning our trusted reputation and never take it for granted. Never take it for granted. Finally, I want to emphasize that we are a partner in the ecosystem. Navigating turbulence will require the coordinated efforts of a very wide range of actors across economy. So we need to pursue collaboration between our profession and these other partners in economic advancement. And I ask our stakeholders to call on us and depend on us as we move forward together. I thank IDX and EIE for the honor of speaking today, and I thank all of you for joining us, and I look forward to an excellent discussion in the rest of our time this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and you may return to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of IDX market opening ceremony. And before we continue to the seminar session, we'd like to invite you all to watch the following videos.
Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia berdiri pada 23 Desember 1957. Akuntan muda tanah air mengambil prakarsa pendirian IAI, dipimpin oleh Profesor Sumarjo Citro Sidoyo. IAI didirikan untuk membimbing dan mempertinggi mutu pendidikan akuntansi dan mempertinggi mutu pekerjaan akuntan. Sejak itu, IAI berkembang menjadi organisasi profesi akuntan yang turut mewarnai sejarah perekonomian Indonesia. Inisiasi penting selanjutnya adalah ketika IAI mengambil tanggung jawab menjadi standar setter untuk mendukung pasar modal dan dunia investasi Indonesia. IAI menerbitkan prinsip akuntansi Indonesia (PAI) dan norma pemeriksaan akuntan (NPA). PAI nantinya berkembang menjadi standar akuntansi keuangan (SAK). IAI terus tumbuh menjadi pengawal transparansi dan akuntabilitas perekonomian Indonesia. Dalam dinamika global, IAI menjadi pendiri dan anggota IFAC, pendiri dan anggota ASEAN Federation of Accountants (AFA), serta Associate Member Chartered Accountant Worldwide (CAW). Di masa kini, tidak bisa dibantahkan, IAI berperan di hampir semua sektor perekonomian. DPN periode 2022-2026 akan meneruskan estafet kepemimpinan profesi menuju IAI bersatu bersama menciptakan peluang meraih kesuksesan. Melalui rencana strategis IAI periode 2022-2026, IAI tumbuh, kuat, dan berkelanjutan. Rencana strategi IAI terdiri dari 4 pilar. Pilar 1, memperkuat transformasi profesi akuntansi melalui peningkatan kuantitas dan kualitas akuntan Indonesia yang memiliki kompetensi, kredibilitas, serta mematuhi regulasi, kode etik, dan standar profesi. Pilar 2, meningkatkan kepercayaan publik kepada profesi akuntansi sebagai pemimpin dalam pengembangan ekosistem keuangan dan keberlanjutan. Pilar 3, memperkuat perlindungan hukum dan praktik keprofesian akuntan di berbagai sektor di era keberlanjutan. Pilar 4, meningkatkan tata kelola organisasi IAI dan memperluas kerjasama dengan pemangku kepentingan profesi akuntansi. IAI siap mengawal perekonomian Indonesia menuju Sustainable Development Goals. IAI tumbuh, kuat, dan berkelanjutan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IAI, IFAC, and IDX seminar. The global economy is facing unprecedented challenges driven by geopolitical tension, rapid technological advancement, shifting regulatory framework, climate change, and sustainability issue. Economic disruption, supply chain volatility, and evolving consumer behavior require an organization to adopt resilient strategies that ensure long-term growth. Amid this uncertainty, accountants are now expected to act as a strategic advisor who provides data-driven insight, manage financial risk, and support sustainable business decisions. And today, IAI, together with IFAC and IDX, will have a session with the theme Future-Proofing Economies, the Strategic Role of Accountants in Turbulent Times. This session will be delivered by our panelists, Bapak Arman Wahyudi Hartono, the Chairman of AIE, and Ibu Novira Indrianingrum, Head of Capital Market Supervision Department, Indonesia Financial Services Authority, and also Professor Siddhartha Utama, IFAC Board Member, who also IAI Council Member. This session will be moderated by Bapak Buntoro Rianto, Consultative Board of KSB IAI, who also partner of PwC Indonesia. To the panelists and the moderator, please welcome on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to read a brief profile of Bapak Buntoro Rianto. He is a consultative board of IAI Professional Accountant in Business Compartment or KSB IAI, who also PwC Indonesia Finance and Operation Leader. He is also PwC Indonesia Assurance Partner. And ladies and gentlemen, during this panel session, we would like to invite you to join our discussion by submit your question through Mentimeter. And the link is provided on the screen. There is a barcode you may scan to join the panel session. Okay. We will give some time for Bapak Buntoro. Okay, Pak?
Sorry, apparently you are waiting for me, yeah?
Yeah.
To
I
finish
hand over the
Mandarin.
session to you, Pak.
Okay.
Please give big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thank you so much, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very good morning. It's my great honor to be, in fact, assigned by Pak Nyoman, to be your moderator today. Monica has kindly shared with you all who am I, but most importantly, I'm an accountant. Yeah. I am fortunate enough to take some leadership position in PwC Indonesia firm. One of them is being a human capital leader. Yeah. That to me tells accountant can be anyone, can be taking any position, right? So like what the tagline that IAI has, see beyond numbers. Yeah. So what I'm doing, truly not just only see the numbers, but what beneath or beyond the numbers. So give a round of applause to accountant. Yeah. All right. So today we are so fortunate, having these three prominent panelists they are all, as we know, are very, very extremely busy people. Yeah. Let me introduce once again to all of you. First of all, I have Bapak Arman. Yeah, Pak Arman, as you know, is the chairman of Indonesian Public Companies Association, Asosiasi Emiten Indonesia. He will be sharing with us on behalf of, in his capacity as the chairman of that very important organization. Yeah. Well, I believe every one of us know who Pak Arman is. But one thing probably you don't know about him, that I'd like to share is actually what does Arman stand for? Yeah. This is according to him, not according to me. Yeah. But this is in Bahasa. I will try my best to translate that in English later on. So Arman, A for asal, yeah. A for asal, R for rajin, yeah. M for menabung, yeah. A for Anda akan, yeah. N for nambah, and D, you know what? Do it. So in English, probably like something like, so long as you are disciplined and diligent enough to save your money, then your money will grow more and more. Yeah, that perfectly corresponds to who he is professionally as a banker. Yes, Pak Arman also like traveling. I heard from it this morning. He is also like skiing. Yes, but in Indonesia, where to go skiing, Pak?
No, Indonesia surfing.
Oh, surfing.
Skiing, you go somewhere else.
Okay. So once again, give a round of applause to Pak Arman. Yeah. Thank you, Pak Arman, once again for making the time having with us, Pak. And now, Professor Siddhartha Utama, aka Professor Tata. Yeah. I think Prof has been holding a number of positions. One of them definitely a key person within the IFAC board members. Yeah, he is also currently IAI National Council member. Well, actually a number of position there. Yeah, he is definitely one of the lecturer or professor in the one of the most prominent universities in Indonesia, which is Universitas Indonesia, who produce so many prominent and reliable accountants, yeah, including our founding father in the IAI itself. Yeah. One thing that I'd like to share about our Professor Tata that probably you don't know. Yeah. Prof Tata likes traveling a lot, yeah, both in this country and around the globe. Prof Tata, yeah. And one thing, he likes nasi goreng so much, yeah. So long as there is nasi goreng, fried rice, he will eat it no matter what time it is, yeah. So again, give a round of applause to Prof Tata. Thank you, Prof Tata, for making the time today. And the last, definitely not the least, yeah, the only Ibu that we have today, yeah, is Ibu Novira Indrianingrum. Yeah. Ibu is actually the head of Department of Supervision, yeah, of our OJK. Yeah. She attended University of Sriwijaya in Palembang on his undergrad school, yeah, majoring in accounting. So Ibu is also akuntan sejati. Yeah. She graduated from Daniels College of Business, University of Denver, Colorado, ya Bu ya. One thing that I also would like to share about Ibu ya, fun fact that you probably don't know. Ya, Ibu is originally from Palembang, so Ibu is a budak Palembang. Ya. She like cycling, ya. So every weekend she does cycling for at least 40 kilometers. Yeah. No wonder Ibu is look forever young. Yeah. Another thing, she also likes mie celor. Ya Bu ya, mie celor. Yeah. So for everyone who doesn't or who haven't got a chance to try mie celor, including yourself, Monsieur Zong, you probably can try, yeah, and have pardon by you that mie celor. Give a round of applause to Ibu. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, I think let me share with you the today's panel session objective. Yeah, what we are trying to achieve or we aim to achieve is actually, I think, like in line with the topic. First of all, we'll aim to identify key challenges being faced by the government and the business community, including capital market and all business players, particularly in this country. Yeah, and then we'll also aim to achieve how to advance the corporate and sustainability disclosures to meet the investor expectation. And then we will also be trying to explore strategies and innovations that accountants can adopt to navigate the economic disruption. Last but not the least is how we can potentially foster a cross-sector collaboration to promote the roles of accountants in the economic and business policies. Okay, I think that's what we aim to achieve today. The discussion itself is actually kind of divided into 4 parts. First, we'll be talking a bit on the shift and crisis for probably the next 15 minutes or so. And then sustainability and risk becoming the second part of the discussion. And then the corporate agility for another 25 minutes. And lastly, we will be talking about the future impacts. Yeah. Before I start, I again would like to remind everyone to feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions during the discussion that we have. Otherwise, you can always use the Mentimeter, yeah. So to share your thought or any question that you have. Okay, let's just start. I would probably start visiting Pak Arman first, ya. Probably Pak Arman as the chairman of Asosiasi Emiten Indonesia and also a prominent business player. Ya. He could later on give us context. Ya. What happened, Pak Arman, actually? What happened with the dynamic at this moment, right? I mean, you name it, the geopolitics has not been really stabilized, Then very recently we see on the tariff war, protectionism, which, a kind of old school kind of thing. Yeah. We have been actually moving to a free trade, but now suddenly, like 100 or 150 days ago, we saw what we are seeing. But then what does it mean to us in Indonesia from the business perspective? What kind of top challenges, if you like, that you really see from the current phenomena? Please, Pak Arman.
Thank you, Pak Bendoro, and everybody, most honorable guests in this event. Let me go step by step of how I would feel the context, how it began, and why is it like today. First, whatever happens in so-called geopolitics and economics is because of the universe. It's the geography. First is understanding the geography and weather, climate, define the policies that government are making, what the traders are doing, what everybody is doing to survive. So if we go back 200, 300 years back, where the world was not as connected as today. In Europe, all the countries were divided. And each country is trying to survive. Each leader is thinking about how to survive, how to ensure the country survive or his own position survive. that created a lot of tariffs between all the countries in the world, within Indonesia too, within all the different islands, even. Within Indonesia versus China, India, Sri Lanka, even if you look back few hundred, the history of humankind in the last few hundred years, they did not have this modern economic theory, but they knew they need to balance the trade. It's very logical. And usually, from time to time, when there is a climate change, such as a major El Nino or La Nina, where you have extreme wet weather or dry weather, cold or hot weather in some area, creates certain countries, a situation where certain countries must go to extreme measure to survive. They would have to decide to have an extreme tariff. And by the way, I would say extreme tariff, just to be clear, and a tariff up to 30-40%, okay. I would say, yes, it's high, but historically it's quite normal. But once you go above 50, 60, 100%, it means I don't want your product. Stop trading with me. And those countries who got stopped, who got boycotted, they go to extreme measures. That's how World War began. If you see Japan, they were not allowed to trade energy, oil, steel, and they were forced to get the resources from other countries in Asia. That's why they were forced to attack other countries. You leave them no choice. Okay? But as human beings, we are human beings, we make mistakes, then we learn. Then we forget. Unfortunately. Right? We learn that, okay, all the World War I was pretty bad. Gave the US the advantage because they were geographically they are different than the Europeans. Make America and Argentina became the biggest food supplier of the world, so they were the supplier of everything. It created another imbalance. Which after World War I, all the other countries in Europe, for example, were trying to survive. They created things for. It was after the Industrial Revolution, they were created cheap products, and there again, it's extreme competition of countries who are just trying to survive. And then we saw another World War. Then after that, they learned, okay, then maybe you should reduce the tariffs and everything, and you should make a United Nations and a World Trade Organization. And the tariffs slowly start to be reduced, and it became like what we have experienced in the last 60 years. We've never been in our human history, we've gone through a huge, the biggest improvement in economy, in mortality rate, in health, in technology, in anything you can see. So even if you see today, oh, it's very turbulent, but if you compare to a few decades ago, we are living much better, by the way. So I wouldn't say it's a bad situation per se. But yes, like human, we make mistakes, we learn, and sometimes we forget. We need some event to remind ourselves again. What's happening today is another imbalance. It's always this imbalance. United States, as we know, we have a fiscal deficit. It's a global currency, it keeps printing. Everybody knows this problem. That's one problem, they are very leveraged. And then you have China, who are trying to survive. For them, number one is job creation. And they're not in a position where they are like US, where they can depend a lot on domestic consumption to grow their economy. Their relative domestic consumption is low. Even though they have 1.3 billion people, their consumption is much lower than US. Meaning the only way for them to grow the economy logically is to export. And of course, they need to export everything very cheaply. So I lived in China for a while. I don't understand how the accounting works, because they can make everything below $1-2, where every other country can it costs $10, $20 in another country. It only costs $1-2 over there, or even cents. So I always scratch my head being this engineer and economists trying to understand how does the accounting system work, right? But again, you have to understand their geography, their situation, and they need to survive by exporting, by creating projects, infrastructure projects, by exporting. Well, so every country is in a different position, and suddenly you have warming, global warming, which means what? More extreme climate. Too dry, too wet, too cold, too hot, which can create disturbance in food supply, in commodity prices, which force some other country to go to extreme measure to survive. By dumping or by blocking some other trades. And that creates opportunity for leaders, political leaders, to catch certain topic and make it their theme, such as make certain country great again, or reduce the tariff for popularity, some populist policies. You hear a lot of extreme left and right. So that creates all this turbulence. Doesn't matter who's leading the country. So I'm not finger pointing which country. It's just natural when the universe moves, then everybody is thinking for themselves. And then when there's imbalance, then you create all this imbalance. And everybody tries to balance themselves, and they go, if one goes extreme, especially a big player, an elephant goes extreme, then elephant and a dragon fights, and the other would get squashed, and everybody will try to survive by doing another maneuver. That's what we are experiencing, what you call the turbulent times. That's one. Second is when turbulent times happen, it's accompanied also by technology change, really fast, rapid technology change. I'm sure you're all accountants. You always have this question, with AI, will accountants survive with AI? You can do auditing with generative AI and everything. It's great. By the way, it's overhyped, I think. I'm doing the auditing and everything and operational audit in my BCA. Yes, we do use a lot of algorithms. I don't want to call them AI, robotics algorithm, yes, but it cannot really truly replace people. Because accounting is not just black and white. Accounting is very philosophical as well. We all know. There are a lot of judgment that you need. Certain things you can automate. Accounts payable, accounts receivable. They're very straightforward. It's clear. You can use robotic AI to take the facts from invoices and everything and do the what do you call pre-processing your transactions and your ledgers. But still, some human need to make the judgment. Still. So don't worry. Okay, here, all these accountants here, all these auditors here, you don't need to worry about your jobs. Use the technology, really, use your technology to make your jobs more efficient. That's it. It become a pair accountant, pair auditor. They become like, if you're a programmer, don't worry, they become your pair programmer. But it does make some, it does make a dynamic change. So I would say there's two of them coming together. That would be my first context. Then I would allow my peers to complete the and of course, and hopefully we'll complete the context and how it will connect to what we will talk about sustainability later and what is accountant's role, what am I like for me a banker's role in the world. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Give a round of applause to Pak Arman. This is particularly what I like when I'm talking to a businessman. They are always optimistic, in any situation. They are always seeing the silver lining of it, the opportunities, how we, can learn. Pak Arman just now mentioned a very, buzzing word, if you like, is to learn. And what I mean, the takeaway that I can have at least, from Pak Arman elaboration just now. Hey, this is actually part of the game, a game of survival, Pak. Not a game of Thrones, Pak.
When they say that Darwin theory is survival of the fittest,
sure.
Later I need to fix that sentence. Survival of those who can survive. Apparently, I learned that the survivors are not necessarily the smartest or most adaptable. They just survive.
Okay.
By nature, by probability, they just survive.
Okay.
Really.
All right. Thank you, Pak Arman. So I mean, people out there, business leaders, political leaders, country leaders, whoever, they are trying to kind of finding new equilibrium point. Is it what you're trying to say, apa ya? Something like that, to balance the imbalance. And this is not something really new, actually, like what Pak Arman said, like a few decades ago, turbulence in economy, politics were there already, something like that, apa ya? Okay, thank you so much, Pak Arman. Okay, now let me address this one particular question to our Ibu, ya, Bu Novira. From the regulator perspective, Bu, what are the regulatory priorities at this moment in light of a rising global uncertainty, global economic uncertainties? What kind of initiative that are being taken or have been taken to particularly address the transparency, Bu, in capital market?
Thank you, Pak Buntoro. Yeah, this is from regulator perspective, right? So, in the light of rising the global uncertainties and geopolitical tensions, OJK, we have a priority, regulatory priority that has taken, shifting toward strengthening the financial safeguard, and also enhancing the resilience of entities, supervised entities, against shocks, and also addressing new risks. So entities, supervised entities under OJK supervisions are encouraged to integrate geopolitical risks and uncertainty risks into their governance, and internal assessment process and risk framework. This includes assessing the potential impact of the global events on financial and stability of the entities. So OJK also is very keen to develop and to deepen Indonesian financial market, including capital market, to better manage risks and also to protect against disruptions. Moreover, OJK is increasingly focused on the development of digital assets and tokenizations, where this is in Asia, there is a growing demand for this issuance. And also, in the global tensions and uncertainties, which can lead to the increase of cyber attacks. So the regulations of cybersecurity is a key for the regulatory priority of OJK. So recently we had this significant downturn in our capital market index, caused by geopolitical and global tensions, including the Trump effect and also domestic issues. We experienced a lowest the Jakarta Indonesian Stock Exchange Index since the COVID. So OJK, we issued some policies, that we aims to cope with the global tensions and the geopolitical uncertainties, including like we ban evaluating the margin short selling policy. We ban temporarily the margin short selling, and also we introduced the liquidity provider mechanisms. It's a new regulations, and also we developed derivative markets. Is also mandated by the financial sector omnibus law, and also we issue the relaxation policy for buybacks, the share buybacks of listed companies. And also, we are about to take a policy action to increase the share free float of the listed companies to improve our liquidity and the quality of the trading in our stock markets. So that's some of the policy taken by OJK in the recent.
Thank you so much, Bu. I think that is very comprehensive, from Ibu. Apparently, OJK has been taking care, the market very well. I mean, ranging from the on the cyber attack attention, like what Ibu mentioned, and then preventing short selling at this moment, and trying to improve or promote the liquidity of the market, and on the other side also relaxing the transaction on the share buyback, Bu. Seems like a number of things, OJK has contributed to the stability of the capital market. Thank you so much, Bu Novira. Can I ask everyone to give a round of applause to Ibu? Thank you, Bu. All right, now the last question that I have for the first topic on the shift and crisis, really to Prof. Tata. Prof. Tata, what do you think are the roles of ethics and professional skepticism? I think what I can take from Monsieur Jean this morning in his opening remark is on the ultimately what defines us as accountant is ethic, and professional skepticism is really one of them. So my question to you again, Prof. Tata, what are the roles of ethic and professional skepticism in the future-proofing economy, especially in time of crisis? Please, Pak.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you and share my thoughts, from the perspective of the members of IFAC board. And well, I mean, if we look at the theme of this FGD, is future-proofing economies. What is that? Future-proofing economies. So the definition of this future-proofing economies, which by the way, I took it from ChatGPT. Okay, so yes, I use AI. So future-proofing economies refer to the strategic process of preparing a country's economic system to remain resilient. Okay, the first one is resilient, competitive, inclusive, and sustainable in the face of anticipated and unexpected changes. So, I mean, we have been discussing all these events recently with, of course, increase the volatility of the stock market and also the economy in general. So those countries having these future-proofing economies tend to be more stable, in terms of the impact of all this volatility, and also being competitive. It also results in higher economic growth and generally. So of course, every country should aim, to have this future-proofing economies. So what are the factors for this, for a country to have future-proofing economies? There are several of them. It depends also on the government policy. For example, having a diversification, the economy has to be diversified, not only depending for example, only for mineral products. So you have to diversify, and also others. But one important point, one also very important factor is, of course, innovation. The country should innovate and also have to change, to embrace change. And another one is governance. Okay, the countries should be done. The economy should be managed based on good governance principles. And when we're talking good governance principles, the first pillar is ethical behavior or integrity. Okay. After that, others follows from this, by having an ethical behavior. Then the economy should be also transparent, accountable, and also at the end it's sustainability. And I think this is very important because if the economies and also business, when the business are operating based on integrity, so the focus is on the long term, sustainable, not the short term, based on the best interests of not only the shareholders, but also stakeholders in general, okay? And so the decisions, business decisions, whether it's in the private sector or in the public sectors, are based on the long-term view, based on the integrity. So at the end, this will result in trust, trust from the public in general, and also respect to the economies, to the countries. And as a result, investment will go pouring into these countries. And of course, that will also increase the economic growth of the company. So at the end, trust is also very important. And if, on the other hand, if the economies are based on KKN, corruption, colusi, nepotism, yes, it may grow. But if there is disturbance like we're having here, then the economies will be very fragile. Companies will be likely to go bankrupt because they are not based on a sound business judgment. Okay, so what is the relation this with the ethical behavior of professional accountants and also professional skepticism? Well, we, as professional accountants, our work, for example, we provide information for decision making, financial report, financial statement for the external, for investors and also other stakeholders. While internally, we also provide information and also suggest advice, provide advice on the to the directors, how to manage the companies and so on. So professional accountants have a very crucial role, in ensuring all the matters that I mentioned earlier. They need to have integrity and so on. And as Mr. President mentioned earlier, the IFAC have the member value propositions. We want professional accountants to have integrity, behave ethically, and also the quality of service is high, professional quality. So as a professional accountants, we are bound to the ethical code. This is different from accountant. So I think we need also to differentiate between professional accountants, and professional accountants are those that are members of professional accounting organizations, like IAI and ERP and so on, and they're bound to the ethical code, and they also have to improve themselves through continuous professional development. So by becoming a professional accountant, they have to commit to behave ethically based on the ethical code. And I think this is very important because if the professional accountant itself conduct their service based on these integrity measures, that will also induce the business sector and also the public sectors to also behave ethically, based on good governance principles. For example, you also asked about the professional skepticism. Some of you may not really understand, what does it mean, professional skepticism. Professional skepticism is so professional accountants, we have to have this professional skepticism. Professional skepticism is a critical mindset. It's a critical mindset that requires questioning evidence, assessing risks, and avoiding assumptions. Meaning, as professional accountants, when we are provided by informations, we need to make sure that the information is credible. We just don't accept any information as truth. And I think this is very important, given the current condition, with the information provided by the social media, many of them are not really credible. So, as a professional accountant, you have to be very critical of all this information. As a result, by having this behavior, those accountants working in the companies, so when they were given all these facts and information, they have to make sure that that information is truthful, okay? And also at the end, this will make the accountants to detect probably error or misstatement or fraud earlier and more effective, in detecting misstatement and so on, okay? And of course, as a result, this should make the companies more, free, from possibility of fraud and so on because of the function of the professional accountants. So I think these two features, of professional accountants being having ethical behavior and also practicing professional skepticism will also have a positive impact on the economy in general. But of course, it's up to us, the accountants, whether we really uphold these two, this ethical behavior and professional skepticism. If we don't really comply with that, then you can see all the scandals, if we notice that many scandals, not only in Indonesia, but also all over the world, for example, like Enron and also WorldCom, and also in Europe, we have also some scandals in India, Satyam, and also in Indonesia. In many cases, if not almost all cases, when a companies went bankrupt or committed fraud, extensive fraud, at the same time, the financial statements were also misrepresented, window dressing, and so on. Why? The purpose is to hide the fraud. But of course, we need to also to ask ourselves as professional accountants, why this can happen? Because we are the one that prepare the financial statements. So, if we uphold our integrity and also we also uphold our professional quality, this would not happen. And we could prevent all this fraud and so on. So also it's up to us, the professional accountants, to really put these values into behaviors. And I think this is also, we need to embrace that. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prof. Tata. I think Prof. Tata essentially saying, telling us, hey, ethics is very, very, very crucial, particularly as one of the important element of governance, and which is also very crucial to prevent any unexpected or unintended fraud, which is gonna be very dangerous to to the users of the financial statements, something like that. Yeah, Prof. Thank you so much. Please give a round of applause to Prof. Tata. Probably before I move to the next topic, I just want to check if anyone have any question up to this juncture. Okay, go ahead, Ibu, please. Mon, can anyone provide microphone to Ibu? Silakan mungkin, Bu. Boleh? Enggak kedengeran ya kayak. Panitia boleh tolong dibantu, terima kasih. Ada nggak?
Good morning, wonderful panelists. My name is Nur Hasuti. I'm from Trisakti University. It's very interesting topic that you mentioned recently about the governance in Indonesia. Honestly, as a lecturer, I see that governance in Indonesia is currently only a formal mechanisms. We have this kind of mechanisms, but we are unable to prevent all these corporate scandals, corporate failures. For example, the recent one is e-fishery. So I'm wondering what kind of improvement and recommendation from our associations, IAI, regulators, to make GCG better in Indonesia? Because we know, for example, Board of Commissioners Indonesia, they can take role as much as possible. There are no any restrictions for one person to be BOC in 10 or 20 or even 30 companies in Indonesia. And then there is no any kind of penalty if BOC or BOD or top management violates any ethics integrity. I think we need more better regulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bu, I beg your pardon. Ibu siapa tadi? Maaf. Oh, Ibu Nur. Okay, thank you so much. I think that is an incredible question. Yeah, it's very, very, very relevant. Maybe I would like Ibu ya to address. Bu, silakan Bu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ibu Nur, for your questions and concerns. Well, I'm the supervisor of the issuers and public companies. Your concerns is, of course, our concerns too, Bu. Yeah. And regarding the role of the Board of Commissioners, it is already our priority, yeah, to improve and increase the role of the Board of Commissioners, not only, as you said, it's a formal, but it's really a genuine role where the Board of Commissioners use their role to make the supervisions of the company better. Like, for example, currently we are in the process of making rule to require the Board of Commissioners and Board of Directors of issuers to have the continuous training. We learn from other jurisdictions that some jurisdictions, our neighbor jurisdiction, already require the Board of Directors and Board of Commissioners of the issuers and public companies, yeah, listed companies, to have a continuous training. Currently, we don't have that requirement because the method of the approach of the supervisions for the issuers, emiten in Indonesia, is different from the financial institutions. Because financial institutions like banks and insurance companies, they are supervised by the prudential approach. But for emiten, we have this, what we call a market conduct approach. So it's different. But, because this, like you said, the corporate scandals and everything is going on and going on, we are thinking that we have to increase a little bit the requirement for the Board of Commissioner and Board of Director of issuers. So, yeah, Bu, maybe we will have that requirement regulation in the coming years. We learn from India, they require the training for the management of the listed companies, India and Singapore and Malaysia and so on. So I hope that we will have a better performance of and reliability of the management of the emiten, listed companies.
Okay.
I think that, and also maybe I would like to share a little bit about our enforcement. Actually, we impose sanctions to the Board of Commissioners and Board of Directors of listed company, but sometimes we don't announce it. You may ask to Pak Arman, because we currently, we have this cooperation and we share the data of our enforcement to the Association of Issuers, Indonesian Issuers, AII, Asosiasi Emiten Indonesia, so that Pak Arman can also, improve the quality of the members, the management of the members of emiten. So why we don't, sometimes we announce our enforcement, but sometimes we don't. It depends on our the significance of the case, because sometimes we have to make the capital market, it's not in the to make it our enforcement to make the market worse, So we have to make the capital market stable and so on. But believe me, Bu, every day, I'm working, with these cases, where we impose sanctions too, because our approach now is not, to make the company or emiten reliable, but instead we make the management more reliable or responsible for the conduct of the company. So that's I can share. Ibu Nur, thank you.
Thank you so much, Bu Novira. Prof, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I will explain from the perspective of for professional accountants, okay, and also from the perspective of the IFAC. So, as I mentioned earlier, also stated by Mr. President, we want professional accountants to have ethical behavior, integrity, and also professional quality. Okay, so that's why we developed these international education standards. Okay, and to all members of IFAC, in this case is IAI and also IAPI, they have to make sure that all the public accountants from IAPI and also chartered accountants from Indonesia comply with international education standards. And in the standards, we define competence, not only cover technical competence, like financial accounting, management accounting, and so on, but also professional skills and also ethics, values, and attitudes. So we have a separate standards for that. And as a PAO, Professional Accounting Organization, of course, we have to make sure that to be able to have having this CA certification, we need to make sure that our members really have understand, and not only understand actually, and also their behavior reflect, the skills that we require to be a professional accountant. So I think in this case, of course, PAO has to collaborate with the universities, because most of our members are coming from Sarjana Accountancy, okay, a bachelor degree in accounting. And I think the education in the Bachelor of Accounting is very crucial because you spend 4 years at the universities. And what you need to develop is not only just the technical competence, but also this behavior, ethical behavior, and which is not easy to apply. But of course, I think it's very important that starting at the beginning, even in the first year of study, accounting students need to be exposed on these cases, scandals and so on. So they will appreciate, the need to have the importance to behave ethically. Like in the first course, principle dasar akuntansi, principle of accounting, you need to introduce these issues, ethical issues, as early as possible. So by the time they graduate from the Bachelor of Accounting, they will not just having this technical competence, but also professional skills and also ethics, values, and attitudes. So it should start from the education. And of course, the PAO is also very important. to impose this. I think IFAC require all members not only have to comply with this requirement of accounting qualification, but each PAO has to have a quality assurance mechanism. They need to make sure that its members really, when they provide the service to their clients, it is based on their professional quality and also ethical behavior. So each PAO has to have this quality assurance system and also investigation and discipline. Those members that are proven to violate, the ethical code or even the regulation and so on, they have to have a sanction. So risk and rewards is very important. I think this is a quite challenge in Indonesia because our culture tends to compromise things. Our culture is more like collectivities, pertemanan, sehingga nggak tega kalau ada teman yang kemudian melanggar dan seterusnya. I think we need to change that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof, for the additional comments that you shared. Now let me move to the next point on the sustainability, which is the very hot topic all around the globe. Yeah. I mean, without exception, Pak Ardan also mentioned this a bit, and then Mr. John also. I think my first question I would like Pak Arman to address. Yeah. In your observation, Pak, how does the emittent, the issuers, public companies at this moment adapt to the sustainability reporting process? As a background, probably as you are aware, IAI in December last year issued a roadmap, peta jalan on the disclosures on sustainability standard, which every one of us is expected to adhere to that standard in January 1st, 2027. So it's just less than 2 years. What's your view on that, Pak? How ready we are? What kind of assistance, if you like, that you need from the profession like IAI, Pak? Please, Pak.
Yeah, let me go for a bigger picture first.
Sure.
Sustainability as a word is very, very broad, has a very broad meaning. First of all, you have to ensure your business is sustainable, right?
Okay.
Where's Mr. Jacques? Mr. Jacques is outside. Well, last week, one of our peers met President Macron in France. Europe has gone too extreme on sustainability and ESG regulation to the point that companies are going bankrupt because it's so difficult to get licenses in Europe for anything. Okay, I would love to have him, but so it will become sustainable because many companies will close down. Then we will become net zero. Then there is no job. That's not the point. That's not the purpose. That's not the objective. The objective of the IFRS S1, S2 is to have this broader meaning. If the business environment as a whole do not survive, the climate, because you affect the world, you destroy your world, you destroy your environment, your business will not survive. That's the number one understanding first. That's how the IFRS S1, S2, that's why it's made. You protect the earth and the earth will protect you. But first, there is a basic. You have to ensure your company survive through this topic, future-proofing economies. You're future-proofing your management first. That's why the word ESG, I like to turn the word around, is GSE. Get your governance right first. I like talking to Prof. Tata because we talk to each other, we always talk, the governance has to be right first. Forget environment and everything if your governance is lousy. If government is lousy, you choose the wrong management, the regulation is good, but you choose the wrong people, then there's no use. Everything will fail. You have the wrong strategy, everything will fail. Outside we had the conversation, well, for example, what BCA has been focusing, we just focus on survival all the time. It does not matter, good environment, bad environment, good economy, bad economy. For us, it's just a different time that we need to survive. But there are certain things that must be upheld. Prof. Tata talk about trust, for example. Trust, when he talked about competence, he talked about integrity, he talked about governance. Yes, there is a competence, there is honesty, there is benevolence, empathy, how much you care about people, how much you care about your customer, how much you care about your social environment. Trust is not built on number one, competence. It's the other way. We trust people, we trust company because by culture, they care about people, they care about the environment, they care about social, they care about the company management. Then they're trustworthy, they have integrity, they are honest, and they're competent. It's this. And this bottom line, you're empathic, you care about others, you're consistent, you're trustworthy, this bottom two, it's what I call in the regulation, you need to have the right governance. Unfortunately, the world is always leaning towards something so sexy. Oh, he's competent. It sounds very sexy, but it's very dangerous for turbulent times because if you're not trustworthy, if you have the wrong governance, you have the wrong leaders, you have the wrong people, get this right first, governance first. As the social, you care about social, you really care about people. It's also good for your business. If you really take care of your environment, the environment will take care of you. You take care of your customer and people around you, your stakeholders, they will take care of you. They'll take care of each other. It's common sense. So example, we talk about BCA. Oh, how's BCA with the ARA, requirement sustainable, we talk with Prof. Arsdian more. When we look at the standard, when the standard came out, we look, BCA has been doing this for 50 years. Because just from the founder and from the old management, they've already educated us in the discipline of governance, take care of your people, take care of your environment, take care of your kampung-kampung around you. Then that's what the standard is all about. Now it becomes a problem where a company leadership, owners and leadership and stakeholders do not have this understanding. They just want to make business, make money, exit. That's what happened to siapa tadi questionnya dari Ibu Nur. The objective was to get quick money. It's greedy, rakus. That's the objective. It's not long-term sustainability, long-term shareholder value. It's not that. So the regulation made by the stock exchange, by OJK, is trying to educate everybody to think long-term, okay, for your bigger stakeholder, and try to reduce those who want long-term, you want short-term. Then it happens a lot when they have the short-termism. Then, yeah, this short-termism can be very dangerous and maybe not future-proofing, because who cares about the future? I want to get it now. Then cook the books. That's what happened to Enron, WorldCom, Wirecard, everything. It's just a lot of this short-termism because the management is only there for short-term. So does regulation replace people problem? No. Regulation is there, but it will not replace, it will not eliminate frauds. Fraud will happen from time to time because of short-termism, greed and everything. It will be a reminder from time to time. But it's important for us to understand, please make the right governance as a country and the companies and the stock exchange and everything, so that over time, there will be more and more quality company with good quality management, quality people who care about others, who care about environment. That's the purpose of this IFRS S1, S2. Is over time, you educate more and more people and leaders, business owners, management to do things with common sense, which means you do the right business, meaning you want to do a business long term. For sure, you have to take care of your social and environment around you. It's not separate. It's just now that there is this regulation, it seems like, oh, it's extra work. It doesn't have to be extra. Yes, it's extra work, but it's not costly. It's, yes, you need to make the report, but it's our job as management, as accountant, to make everything transparent for outsiders, for investors, for shareholders, for employees, for people. And it's good for your brand. It's good for business that you're transparent and you're building the right brand, that you care about others. That's how you build trust. So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Pak. I like, when you say that actually it has to be, started with the governance, ya, Pak, ya. So GSE, ya, Pak. So, and you are telling us, in case of BCA in particular, it has been the culture of the company itself. So hopefully that is also, kind of followed by the other emittents, yeah, in Indonesia. Thank you so much. Just one, quick follow-up question, Pak. Actually, if we look into what probably Pak Ardan mentioned in the kind of kata pengantar, Pak, ya, preamble of the on the roadmap itself, the paradigm that we would like to or expected to have, and then the behavior or mentality that we are expected to exhibit under these IFRS 1 and 2 is actually on the what they call outside in. So what kind of, the impact of the sustainability issues themselves to the company. So the observation that, our institution have at this moment is that, the emittent, the issuers, tend to focus on the impact or externalities, if you like, that the company, public company, have on the environment, social, that kind of thing. But actually the paradigm expected from that standard is also outside in, not only inside out. What do you think about it? Probably I give you a little bit short example. Say for example, the world kind of is not very successful in managing the Earth's surface temperature, i.e. well below 2% from the pre-industrial. Yeah. Say for example, touch the wood, 3 years from now, it's hit the 2+ degrees Celsius, sorry. Then the sea level increase, and then again, touch the wood, a lot of flood, then disrupt the business, agriculture sector, transportation, whatever. Then, world becoming chaotic. Business community is no longer immune, quote unquote, to the impact of the climate change. So how that then be reflected in the sustainability report? That's probably the mandate on the IFRS that we'll be adopting less than 2 years from now. So my follow-up question to you, what is your observation on our emittent, by our issuers at this moment, to kind of shift a little bit to that paradigm, Parman? Thank you.
It will take a lot of education. That's why in Asosiasi Emiten Indonesia, we focus our #1 program on education. There is already a lot of regulation. Yes. Over-regulation is also not good. It will make everybody immobile. We all know that. Just get what is available now working. Okay? Go have more education, have more sharing session. But I give you example from my personal experience. In the 70s in Kudus, where I'm from, I'm orang Kudus. Nabi-nabi also orang Kudus. Yeah. There were no trees in Kudus. Temperature 3 to 4 degrees hotter than Semarang in Kudus. And the amount of dust was too high because there were no trees, it was hot, no clean water, they are all calcium water in 1960s, 1970s. Which forced us as the biggest employer, for example, when my family in Jarum, Today is about 700,000 population in Kudus. 100,000 work for the family, family related. Because we are the local there, this is way in 70s, it's way before this regulation, everything. We decide, let's reduce the temperature by 3 to 5 degrees by planting trees, starting in 1968. Let's create job. Let's fix the mosque. So family has fixed more than 100 mosques. Planted now trees from Anyer to Bali. Few million trees, they say. If you don't believe me, count yourself. Fix the waterways. Fix the recycling center from pasar, from food, from fruits, waste to fertilizer, back again. All done in 2 decades. There is no report required. It's because we live there, we know it's hot, it's dirty. So if we wash our clothes, we dry, hang our anduk, it becomes dirty. That's what we call the outside in, that you can really feel. Unfortunately today, if the companies today are only care about financial and they're not, they're financial company or they're service company who do not feel this impact, it's a bit different. For us, we live in Kudus, we have our factories there and we work there. It's a direct impact. So when we clean it, it's cleaner now. It's cleaner air. It's a cooler air. It's cooler now. We have trees everywhere, and everybody feel the benefit. And we plant fruits everywhere. So now every house has fruits in Kudus. Before there was no fruit. That is supposed to be, I think, my ideal picture. Okay, it's not supposed to be wait for regulation for OJK from the governance from Pak Tata's team. Why should you wait? You take care of the earth will take care of you. You take care of your class 7. Really. So unfortunately, it's a bit more difficult, I know. We are having a challenge for companies who do not have this mindset, who do not feel the direct impact of the environment to them, their daily life. They do not understand. So we need to do more sharing, of course, and more education, as much as we can. There is no guarantee we can improve everybody's understanding, but we try.
Thank you, Pak Arman. Let's give a round of applause to Pak Arman. I think that is very, very enlightening. Yeah. So it's glad to hear. Well, at least BCA, kind of a pioneering, on this outside in mentality. Yeah. So if every one of us doing that, though, I think the SK under Pak Ardan will be very, very happy. It's easy for every one of us to adopt that standard when it is required in 1.5 years down the road. Okay, thank you once again, Pak Arman. Now let me address another question to Ibu, Bu, from the regulatory perspective, Bu. What are you up to now, Bu? What is OJK in this particular context is doing in response to the sustainability disclosure or reporting agenda that we have nationally, Bu? Silakan, Bu.
Yeah, as we already know that OJK issued the OJK regulation or POJK number 51 2017 is quite old. So currently we are in the process of revising the regulations, to align with the ISSB, of course, S1 and S2 standard, right? Yeah. So the internal discussion is, that several issues that we propose to the new regulations of the, maybe some of you may not know that what is the POJK 51 2017 is regarding the sustainable implementation for the first financial institutions and issuers and public companies. So some issues that will be, amend, including of course, the disclosure itself, and also the implementations. We think that we have to make into effective in the several phase, because we consider that the readiness of the industry, we have to consider it, and also the size of the company, and also the type of the industry. So probably we have the amendment of the rule, the regulations in the maybe next year, and we start to implement the new regulations for the sustainability disclosure in the 2027. So we expect it's in the next year. So I may say that the industry is, we have to make a public hearing and consultations, and with the SRO also, and of course the issuers.
Thank you so much, Bu Novira. So if I may paraphrase, ya, Bu, ya. So basically what you are saying to us that in the not very distant future, OJK will be amending the POJK 51, ya, Bu, ya, to make it pretty much in line with the IFRS 1 and S1 and 2, ya, Bu, ya?
Yeah.
With the kind of target of adoption by 1st of Jan 2027, which means exactly aligned with what EAI mandate as well, Bu?
Yeah.
Is it what you are saying?
Of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
Okay, let's give a round of applause to Ibu, ya. So I think Ibu is now working very hard to make it, becoming aligned with what becoming II agenda, ya, Bu, ya. Thank you so much, Bu. Okay. All right. Okay. Can I check if anyone have any question for this topic before I move on to the next? I'm actually conscious of time, yeah. Seems like we have to extend until end of the day, probably. Okay, we can see from the slide there, how can future accountant in Indonesia evolve from traditional number crunches to strategic advisor who draft resilient? Yeah. Probably I pose this question first, yeah, because we'll be there on the next topic. Yeah, I think this is a very relevant question for today's session. Yeah. Oh, Bapak mau jawab sekarang? Nanti aja Pak Arman, ya. Okay. Any other question? Okay, if not, then probably let me move to the next topic. Yeah. Okay. Let's now move to the corporate agility. Yeah, probably I would like Prof. Tata, yeah, to address this particular question. How do you think the accounting organization like IAI, Pak, yeah, can foster agility and innovation within the profession? Yeah, I think this is pretty much what the question from the floor. Please, Pak.
Okay, thank you. So the question is PAO, foster agility.
PAO, yeah.
Yes, okay, so first of all, again, the PAO is there to serve its member, the professional accountants. So in this case, then PAO has to make sure, first of all, that the members, the professional accountants, they are also agile, okay? Because now, the issues is about digital technology and also sustainability. Probably 5 years from now or 10 years from now, there are also other emerging issues. And in this case, it's very important that the PAO like IAI or EAP make sure that their members, they will adapt to this change and agile. So that's why, as I mentioned earlier, it's very important that the IAI also EAP is not just placing the importance of the technical competence, because technical competence will also change. Okay? Will also change. What we learned 20 years ago about accounting is very different from now. So what the PEO has to make sure, that its members is, as I think I also mentioned earlier, that the members, professional accountants, has this mental of lifelong learning. Okay, they should be able to learn by themselves. So if there is some challenges or opportunities, so they will work they will improve themselves so that they are capable to address, these challenges or opportunities. And as I mentioned earlier, this lifelong learning is also stated explicitly in one of the international education standards under the standard on professional skills. So also in this standard, agility is also mentioned there. Okay, so of course then it's responsibility of the PEO to have that. And of course you cannot, for example, in the process of assessing the aspiring professional accountants, usually we rely on exams, which is yes. But exams primarily probably only cover the technical competence. For assuring that the aspiring accountants behave in accordance with the professional standards and also their behavior also in line with the ethical codes, then we cannot rely on exams. We have to rely on the practical work experience. So that's why there is a requirement to get a CA or CPA, you have to RMET or not. And is it easy? No. It's not really easy to assess, how the accountants behave. But I think that's the responsibility of PEO to make sure that like agility that you mentioned is also reflected in the behavior of professional accountants. And the PEO itself also has to be agile. In what I mean is that they should. Their activity is not just providing certification. So they also have to be they also have to be active collaboration with the regulators and so on. Like, for example, in the case of sustainability, IAI, actually, we initiate to have to work on this S1 and S2, and hopefully this year, we will issue the standards. So all these activities is initiated by IAI itself. So we need to be proactive and also collaborate and engage with regulators, not only regulators, but also with the industries to understand, their need of their from the industries and also regulators, their expectations on the PAOs. And based on that, then we can change. We need to adapt with this changing environment. For example, like I can also share, from the perspective of IFAC. So IFAC has this strategic plan and also annual plan. But of course, at the end of the year, we always review the strategic plan, whether the strategic plan is still relevant, whether the strategic plan is need to be adapted, to the change in the last 1 year. So I think all PEOs are also expected to do that. Okay, and I think walk the talk should also be applied to PEO. When you say that your members has to be agile and so on, and of course you yourself also to practice it. So I think that's my
Thank you so much, Prof. So effectively what you're saying, PAO should take a proactive measure to build collaboration with any other relevant stakeholders without exception with regulator and industry. Thank you so much, Prof. Now let me ask again Pak Arman, in the context of corporate agility and your accountant, I mean the accountant profession itself. What actually do you expect from accounting profession to better support you, Pak, in your corporate agility agenda?
I give you example, and every meeting, a board director meeting, okay, and what happened in BCA. Sometimes we're having meeting about monthly financial review. And suddenly we ask, hey, about this new product, Pocket Falas. We just launched this product, Pocket Falas. What's the result? Tunggu Pak Arman. I come back to you. We have not prepared the numbers. Today, with generative AI, not an excuse. You just ask right away. Oh, we're talking about financial, and suddenly I'm going to ask, hey, how is our new product, Pocket Falas? Oh, just ask our internal ChatGPT, internal. And we'll explain. Oh, this is the graph, has improved, and so on, so on, so on, so on. It is only possible because our accounting team has prepared the data and they learn the technology. That's one. And then I had my auditing team. I want to audit my operation. We need to streamline and make our operation better, cheaper, faster, safer. Before we could only, okay, give me 2 weeks, Arman. I audit, make a sample audit of the operation and in this part, ATM or whatever. After 2 weeks, they make the report another few days. Then 1 month, done. Today, press one button. AI agent, do your job. Audit this product, audit this process. Few hours, done. Only possible because our accounting team do their homework on preparing the data layer from the accounting to our IT. So that answered the next question. How would the accounting profession influence their customer? If you're in accounting company, you're an accountant, and you learn technology, you will learn all this new technology, and you use it in your company, and you use it in your audit. Things that usually need 1 week now takes few hours. The customers will ask you, how did you do it? Oh, I just took your journal and the entry, I asked the AI agent to do it for us. Would you like to have the system? You pay. Extra for consulting, it's a new business. For accounting, it's a great time now. With the technology and then the AIs and everything, it's a great time to remodel your business. You can do more consulting. Of being able to tell your customer, oh, we found out from 1 day of audit, we found out right away, you have your costs, you have a problem in cost over here, you have a problem of account receivable, you have a problem, and the owner didn't know. Your value added just increased as an accountant, as an auditor from 10 to 100. This is a world of opportunity for accountants. If you learn, if you keep updating yourself to be, if you're agile enough. So, if I answered the question.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot to be done. I can share you a lot what you can do with
Sure.
accounting, with technology here.
Thank you so much. So we have to leverage ya Pak ya, the development of technology and how to make it relevant. They are not like what Jensen Huang said ya Pak ya, when they visit Jakarta. What I remember, that struck me a lot is actually it's not AI actually to
The AI will become our pair auditor, our pair accountant that will help us do the entries.
Exactly.
We will still need human interaction and human understanding and cognition to actually
Sure.
make the conclusion. Still.
Sure. I think that's pretty much in line with the what Jensen said the other day. I think what Jensen was trying to tell us is, hey, we are the one who make use of AI to make us becoming a superhuman ya Pak ya.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. So thank you so much. I think that is very encouraging from Pak Arman. Okay, probably let me check if any question, either, both on the Mentimeter or from the floor. The one that just shown a few minutes ago, I think Pak Arman has addressed that, yeah. Any other? Okay, this one in retail sector, which is highly sensitive to economic fluctuation and changing consumer behavior. How can the role of accountant be enhanced to help company quickly adapt to crisis? I would say this is pretty much similar to the previous one. Is there any other question? Or maybe Parman, you want to say something particularly on that retail industry, Pak?
No, same experience. If your data layer your accounting data layer, your ledger, your sales, everything is well designed, it allows for instant, near real-time analysis of which product for which customer segment is selling well and not well and need to be improved. That will answer the question.
Okay. Okay, but probably on that one, ya Pak, ya, that question is actually particularly interesting. Retail, and then he or she, the one who raised that question, saying something like, hey, this industry is currently under pressure.
Has always been.
Has always been, but particularly this particular period of time where we are actually seeing a lower purchasing power, for example, and the impact of the e-commerce, for example. Do you have any insight to share with us?
Especially during tougher times, it's the easiest time to change your business model. It's the easiest time to change your way of working. Do not miss, like COVID. Pre-COVID, nobody have online meeting. COVID hits 1 month, everybody do online meeting. So if you think this is turbulent times, this is the best time to use technology. Force your team to use technology. It's the best time. This is a golden era, actually. No, I wouldn't call it turbulent times.
Okay.
It's a golden era for those who would like to change and make things better.
Okay, that is without exception to the accountant of the organization, retail.
Especially the accountant. They have a big role to help the company go from very traditional, everything manual, not everything automated.
All right. Thank you so much, Pak Arman. Okay, let's now, I think I'm conscious of time, to be honest. I think let's now move to the very last subtopic that we have, i.e. we will be talking about future impacts. Yeah. Maybe to Pak Arman again, Pak Arman. I think earlier you talked about the role of accountant, etc., which is very crucial and will be staying very relevant to the business despite the disruption in technology. So our role will not be replaceable. That's basically what Pak Arman mentioned, and he earlier said a very encouraging word, which is the judgment, human judgment. But actually, Pak Arman, what do you value the most from your accountant? What wake you up in the night without your accountant companion?
Wakes me up at the night, number one, now my dog's barking. Okay, but anjing gonggong. No. Nothing wakes me up. I sleep well, actually. So, repeat the question again.
Okay, sorry, but what do you value the most from your accountant?
Accountant, since 1,000 years ago, number one, integrity of your data. Integrity of your financial is still number one. Even until 1,000 years later, I think the integrity is still number one. If you date back the history of accounting when it was still single entry, that's a difficult time for a business owner to measure their financial. Because in single entry, it's just impossible to know exactly what's going on in your company. After the invention of the double entry, you should get Nobel Prize. It's a physics, a conservation of law. What comes in will go out is equal. Whether debit, credit, the journal entry has to be equal. That's a Nobel. For us, for management of a company, for finance manager, for own business owner, just the first invention of double entry system, that's a Nobel Prize. It allows us to be able to see things, virtual number. I mean, the balance sheet is a virtual number of what's going on in a company in an understandable manner and with better integrity. Of course, accounting is accounting. There is some philosophy of how you do your entries. Okay?
Right.
As long as you get that very consistent, it allows you to make decisions better. For example, it depends also from the company's philosophy. For example, for BCA, or the company I manage, our first number one objective of any business is to survive. Any given time. Turbulent time, easy time, good time, bad time. The number one objective of any business should not grow as big as you can. Should not maximize your profit first. Should survive first. If you don't survive, forget everything. Meaning, we need to ensure we have good service. Meaning our system should always be on. Meaning our supply chain should always be good. Meaning our team should be engaged. Meaning balance sheet, our cash position is safe. Our equity is safe. Our cost ratio is good. Okay? Meaning our productivity measures are good. Only available if your accounting is good. I've been in a company where the accounting was not so good. It's tough. It's tough to manage a company with a lousy accounting.
But at that time, you still sleep well, or you wake up in the night?
I still sleep well. It's okay. Yeah, but no good. It's a young company. It's like a startup company, right? Its accounting system is not so good. So having a proper accounting system with a good integrity is still number one, but not enough. Then you need to have, once you have that, you need to have the ability to crunch those numbers very quickly, to have the analysis and what should be improved, what can be improved, what is in trouble right away. You have the alarm right away. You need that to be almost instant anytime with the business like today. And three, of course, not with the S2, S3, S1, S2, S3, whatever. And later on, there will be 3, 4, 5 S. How many S? For business owners or management who really care, who have the philosophy of business where business is all about the social and environment as well. And you have that clarity of transparency of what's going on in your financials and what's going on around your environment. It's amazing. What's so bad about that? For us who really care about doing business in a holistic way. The accountant has a lot of jobs. But you are lucky today you have technology to help you. You have AIs. Yeah, you have agent AIs to help you. And you're really lucky. Use it. Use it. And don't be afraid of technology. Don't be afraid of AI will replace you. It will not replace you. Technology will not replace people. People will be replaced if they don't understand technology. People with technology replace people who doesn't understand technology, who doesn't update themselves. So,
Becoming Gaptek group, Pak?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Pak Arman, once again. Okay, now probably my question to Prof. Tata, yeah. We heard from Pak Arman, yeah. I mean, kind of what he as, the business player value. What does he value the most? I mean, from our profession or we as accountants. Then my question to you, what kind of capabilities, Pak? Skill and capabilities that we need to, continue develop, to be able to be a business partner to someone like Pak Arman and the other out there, Pak, business community. Please, Pak.
Okay, thank you. I think it's very important that accountants, professional accountants, of course, they have to master their accounting expertise. That's necessary. But also it's very important that they also have other knowledge. For example, like strategic thinking. Also, they should also understand the business model of the company in which they work. And also, they also have to understand, like other supporting knowledge that they need to have in the company. So by having this, then the accountants can, first of all, of course, they have to as Pak Arman mentioned earlier, they have to utilize the advance of AI. And of course, but they need still to apply the professional skepticism, when they're using AI. But by utilizing AI, then they can then put more focus on areas in which AI is not yet able to do it, which is the professional judgment and so on and so on. And to do that, they have to have a broad knowledge. Because, the focus of these accountants have to think of what are the strategies for the companies or any entities so that they can survive long term. We're talking about sustainability, so professional accountants have to think what can they do so that the companies can create value in the long term, and to do that they have to have very broad knowledge. So that's why I keep mentioning this to the IE International Education Standards. I mean, if you look at standard number 2 about technical competence, yes, there is finance accounting, management accounting, but also there are also others, okay, like strategic, also business, and so on. And going back also to the issue of sustainability, as we discussed earlier, yes, accountants play a very important role in promoting sustainability, not only in terms of assuring the sustainability report is relevant and also reliable, but also at the earlier stage, because when companies want to integrate, the sustainability matters in their business, they have to change, their the process, starting from acquiring the raw materials and they're selling to the customers. They have to think what are the impacts, that's in S1. What are the risks and opportunities of all these value chains on sustainabilities? And I think professional accountants, especially those working in the company as management accountant or PEIB, have a very strategic role on that. Okay, so that's why I still want to inform you that under IFAC we also have a group, the professional accountants in business, and actually Prof. Linda is a member of that group, and this group is works on the how professional accountants can play a strategic role, in changing the business model of the companies from just before focusing only financial matters to be like, what Arman mentioned earlier, also caring for others. So that's my...
Maybe in a short, I would just explain like this. I'm heading the services and operation and branch network in BCA. I can say today, I love my accounting team. I can say it in front of them. And if I meet my internal audit team, I can also tell them, I love the auditing team, internal audit team. That should be the objective of the accounting team. If you can have your CEO, everything, come to your accounting team. Whatever you're doing, I'm not accountant, I don't understand this IFRS, IFRS, whatever. But whatever you're doing makes my job easier. Good job. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pak. I think thanks for the complimentary comment as well. I think Prof. Tata, underscoring the importance of capabilities or acumen other than technical capabilities, including among other the strategic thinking, strategic mindset, and also it's very crucial for all of us as accountants to be keeping ourselves updated to the development, without exception on the sustainability, and also the business process, supply chains, etc. Accountant is not supposedly just sitting on your nice table, on your solitary room, gitu ya, Pak Arman, ya. We have to really position ourselves as a business partner. In order for us to be able to do that, definitely we will be, aiming, to improve our capabilities, to make it up to date. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Okay, now, as the last question that I have for this particular topic, I would like Ibu, Bu Novira, to address. How do you assess the systemic risk, Bu? Currently affecting the national economies, or what kind of regulator roles mitigating them? This, I think, pretty much a kind of forward-looking a bit, Bu. If you are, for example, foreseeing, hey, there is a potential or systemic risk, how does regulator, look into that?
Okay, Pak Buntoro. So regarding the systemic risk, of course, in the financial services industry, OJK particularly, we start to develop and implement what we call the subtech supervision, technology-based supervision. So we use big data analytic. We start to use big data analytic. We leverage the big data analytic, and also we have early warning system put in place, and also alert mechanism to proactively detect and monitor the risk across sectors that can cause the systemic risk. So OJK also conduct what we call the stress testing. It's a critical component in strengthening the financial system resilience. So the stress test, we conduct it within the what we call KSSK framework, the Financial Stability Committee. The member is, Ministry of Finance, and the Central Bank, Bank Indonesia, and OJK and LPS. So we conduct the stress testing within the KSSK framework, and also based on the defined macroeconomic scenarios, including the volatility of the interest rates, and also capital outflow and the market volatility. So the goal of those proposition is to identify potential risks in the early stage, so that we can react promptly and to ensure that financial stability put in place and to have a robust economy. That's the role of the OJK as part of the KSSK framework in guarding the stability of the financial services industry.
Thank you very, very much, Bu Nafira. Once again, I think after this session, definitely we'll have a kind of peace of mind, because our regulator is actually taking care what is happening, and then the potential systemic risk, ranging from the big data analysis, Bu, and then also stress testing, and how to make it align with the SSAK concept, something like that, Bu. Thank you so much, Bu. Okay, maybe I would like to check if any, one last question from every one of you, one or two probably, before we really conclude this session. Any on the mentee? How good is the current accounting education? Should the curriculum focus on information system and digital? Prof. Tata, you are the one.
Yeah, okay.
You can ask friend, Prof. Linda as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I'm speaking from the head as a council member of IAI. So IAI has this accounting compartment on accounting education. So the members of this are also accounting educators, and we practically refer to IES, the International Education Standards, as a reference for developing of the curriculum, not only at the professional accounting education, but also at the bachelor program. So, for example, the IES was just revised last year, okay, just at the end of last year. So even before that, the accounting compartment already reviews, the draft of the revised IES, and then try to discuss and also incorporate the curriculum of the bachelor program in accounting. So in terms of that, it's okay. I mean, we're adapting the international education standard, but I think the challenge is really to make sure, whether these curriculums are indeed then applied not only at certain universities but also to all study programs of accounting in Indonesia, because I think that's the challenge, given that it's the quality of the study program varies significantly from one place to the others. So that's why I think I also have to have a very close collaboration with the accreditation body, the accounting and business accreditation body, to make sure all these changes in the revised curriculum it also should be also reflected in the instrument that the assessor, when they're assessing the study program, to make sure that the curriculum indeed are implemented, when the faculties, lecturers conduct their teaching. So that I think that's what I can explain. So basically, in terms of whether we are in line, with the global standards, I can definitely say yes. But the challenge is how to make sure it really implements not only in Jakarta but all over Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, Pak Arman, you want to? Okay, go ahead. You can call your friend, Pak.
But just for a tip.
Sure.
My kids are studying in university, right?
Yep.
Even if you do not change the curriculum, they're already using all this technology stuff, right? Even if the professor doesn't know how to use it, the kids know how to use it.
All right. Silakan, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Regarding the technology, actually, the International Education Standard has already revised the international education, the standard itself, in June 2019. So it's quite long ago. And the revision is not just focusing on the technical, as just now Prof. Siddhartha has already mentioned, but also from the perspective of professionalism. As all of us aware, as an accountant, we are not just focusing on the technical aspect, but also from the professionalism and also personality. So it is very aligned with what we call the professional skepticism. So it's aligning on that one. So I just want to add on that we are not just focusing on the ICT and technology, and it is actually embedded in every of the subject. Okay, and maybe additional to the sustainability, the International Education Standard has just revised also for the just last March 2025, so it's very, very fresh from the oven, and it is around the disclosure of the sustainability. So we, as a professional accountant, now not only number crunchers, but we also have to understand how we have the disclosure on the sustainability, which is related to the financial statement. So the name is General Purpose Financial Statement, consisting of applying international accounting standard and also international sustainability standard. This is the additional to what Prof. Siddhartha has mentioned. Thank you, Pak Bun.
Thank you so much, Prof. Linda. I think this is one of the beauties having professors here. At least now we have two in the room. I mean, definitely it's enlightening, and they are the one actually at the front line to teach every one of us. Without them, I don't know how my accounting skill is. I mean, they are definitely a silent hero. Yeah. I mean, in bahasa we call it pahlawan tanpa tanda jasa, ya, Pak ya. Pak Mo as well is the professor. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think now we are at the very end of the session. I think I would like each of the panelists say a few more words to us as key takeaways. Probably start from Ibu. Yeah, ladies first this time, Bu.
Okay, thank you. So the takeaways that we have heard from the panelists is that the accounting professionals is more strategic, yeah, and multi-dimensional compared to what we have before, yeah. So like Prof. Linda said, They're just not numbers crunchers, but they are risk managers, data analytics, and strategic partners. Yeah, for the companies, governance champions. So everything, sustainability advocates. So everything that accounting profession should have. So I think in better times, turbulent times, so the expertise of accountants become very important in helping organization not only to survive, ya Pak Arman tadi survive, but also to adapt, yeah, innovate, and also to grow sustainably. So that's the takeaway that I can.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much, Bu Novira. Prof.
Thank you. So I mean, in relation to the theme of this FGD, just want to emphasize again what Mr. President mentioned earlier in his keynote speech, that professional accountants has to maintain his or her integrity and also professional quality, and for the sake of public interest. I think we need to really absorb that, in our mind, so that it will reflect in our behaviors. And the other thing is that professional accountants have to keep learning, innovate. Innovation is very important. Okay, learning, innovation, and also have to have a collaboration. They have to engage with others, communication, and also look at the best practices. I think if we do that, then our professional accountants not only will survive, but also will lead, in this changing and turbulent environments. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Pak Arman.
Accounting has gone a long way, okay? And just like what others have said, it's no longer just bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is important, doing the entries, double entries, and also the right entries, and chart of account, all those things. They're still very basic, important. I cannot imagine a company that runs without a good accounting system. I cannot run a company without a good accounting team and system. But things have changed. So all those things that has been done manually now can be done automatically. So learn how to automate all those things. It's very easy. You can learn everything in YouTube and Coursera, everything now. If your professor doesn't understand, you can even teach them. True. Yeah, I see my kids today, they learn very fast. Yeah, and knowledge is democratized. So there is not a big value added by making knowledge worker more knowledgeable using technology. Generative AI, LLM technology is there to improve knowledge workers' productivity. But it does not replace human connectivity. With accountants, you can only function well if, that's what Prof. Tata read, if you relate with others, with the users of your reports, of your numbers, which are the business units, the operation, the supply chain, if you just only do number crunching without communicating, working with them, asking them what they need, there's also no use. That's why accountant is still always needed. But it's not just the one sitting behind the desk, just doing the numbers. You need to go out and mingle and socialize. You ask everybody in the company what they need, what will help them make better decisions. Because decisions will make or break the company. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we give a round of applause to all the panelists? Well, I think once again, thank you very much for staying with us. I mean, until this very last second of the session, before we really conclude this meeting, probably, I mean, at least from my end, I believe we cover a number of interesting and also relevant topics today from this discussion. I mean, starting from what does it mean? What does this current situation mean to us? I mean, particularly from business point of view, we see some optimism, message that Pak Arman shared with us. which is also quite encouraging. And we also talk about, what does this sustainability means to the business players, how, regulator can support the ERE agenda on the sustainability disclosures. And then we also touch a bit on the competency, capabilities that we need to, as accountant, develop further in order for us to be able to be the business partner of the community out there. Yeah, we talk also about what kind of, further contribution that the POA like ERE can contribute and give positive impact to the community. I think once again, thank you very, very much. I wish you all a very good health, yeah, and find this, discussion very interesting and useful. Thank you very much. Have a very nice day and weekend ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for Pak Buntoro, Pak Arman, Ibu Novira, and Professor Siddhartha Utama. We would like to kindly invite four of you to please stay on stage to receive a token appreciation that will be delivered by Bapak Arman Adi Perdana. Please. After this, we should have a group picture. Ladies and gentlemen, before we close the session, we would like to kindly inform you and invite you to the 68th anniversary of ERE, which will be conduct together with IFAC Connect Global Event Series 2025. Our 68th anniversary and IFAC Connect will be held back to back on 3 and 4 December 2025 in Jakarta. We will give you detailed information as soon as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end of our session. On behalf of the organizer, ERE, IFAC, and IDX, I would like to deliver our sincere gratitude to all of the distinguished speaker, moderator, honorable guests, and all of participants. Thank you for your active participation. My name is Monica Nabilia. I see you on our future event. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu. Sampai bertemu kembali di kegiatan IAI lainnya. Room ini akan kami tutup dalam hitungan ketiga. 1, 2, 3. Terima kasih.